Hey everybody, welcome to the lesson on active reconnaissance tools. So we're going to focus on Nmap for this one. There's a couple tools I mentioned as well earlier. Netcat was one and ping was another. Again, we use those pretty regularly, but not nearly as often as Nmap. And I think Nmap is probably the most important tool for you to become comfortable with. And so we're going to focus pretty much just on that for the active reconnaissance tools. Obviously, feel free to investigate the other stuff, and as we go through this course, we will definitely use ping and netcat. I just would not prioritize that as a tool that you want to focus on and learn, at least right away. All right, so I'm in my lab. Every lab is going to be different. Your lab will probably have different IP addresses as well, and we're going to actually do two different scenarios. We're going to do one in my lab, and we're also going to use hack the box. So even if you don't replicate my lab exactly with the same IP addresses and everything, you will have access to the exact same server in this example when we look at the hack the box. So let's go ahead and begin with the lab. So you can see on the screen there's a nmap command with a dash lowercase s, lowercase n. And we're going to do basically, it's a ping scan, but it's not really a ping scan. Nmap does things a little bit differently. It's not a ICMP echo request. They actually use multiple protocols to verify that a system is up, but they just call it a ping scan. So we'll go ahead and run this and see what kind of information we get from it. All right, we have the result of our Nmap ping scan. We did a /24, and we have two systems set up. I'll tell you the 254 system is the gateway, and so it's not a valid target. The 10.10.10.51 is the system we're going to do some testing against using the Nmap scanner. So I'm going to just do an Nmap scan against the target with no additional flags, and we're going to see what comes back. So that way you have a baseline understanding of what Nmap does without giving it any additional information or requirements. Okay, we see here that it identified multiple ports that were open. This is the Metasploitable 2 server, and it's going to have a lot of ports open just so you can learn how to test against that. And that's a system I would actually encourage you to include within your lab. There are videos that I have that you can follow along to make sure that you set up the lab similar to what I have here. This allows us to understand what ports are open and then what the system thinks the service is. Now, this is just a guess because the system administrator can install applications on any of the different ports. These are the typical assigned ports for the different protocols and services. So Nmap just assumes they're correct. Now, our next command is going to actually do some version information, and we're going to see for sure whether or not, in this case, like maybe FTP is on port 21, SSH is on 22. We're going to verify that these are the actual protocols and services on these ports. So the next command, nmap dash lowercase s capital V, that's going to get us the version information like I just said. We wanted to make sure that the services and the protocols that it indicated exists on that system are really that, and then get the version information as well. So let's go ahead and run that and then see what we get back. All right, so our scan completed, the version scan completed, and we see that not only do we have the ports, the state, and the service, but we now have version information. And so we can see that like on port 21, which said originally it was an FTP server, but that was just a best guess, we can see that it's using VS-FTPD, and the version of that is 2.3.4. Now, one of the things that we need to understand when we're performing these scans is why. Why are we asking for version information? So there's really four things that we need in order to identify potential exploits against a target. We need to know the service, we need to know the version, we need to know the operating system, and we need to know the operating version information. Right, so in this case, we've identified what the service is and what the version is. So the next thing we need to do is identify the operating system and then what version that is. All right, our next scan is the nmap dash capital O against the target system. The dash capital O asks for operating system information. So we'll go ahead and run that and see what we get back. All right, so the scan finished. It looks like most of the same information we had before, other than the fact that now it identified that we're running Linux 2.6. something. Now it does this by connecting to it on different ports and using different commands in order to identify delays in communication or how things respond. All right, so that provides some inaccuracies because some systems, obviously in this case, anything from 2.6.15 to 2.6.26 respond the exact same way. So you have to kind of take this with a grain of salt. And in our next scan on the other system in Hack the Box, you'll see what I'm talking about, is that sometimes this becomes unreliable. But let's go ahead and progress onto the Hack the Box and perform the same types of scans against a different server. All right, so we're on Hack the Box. I have the browser up, and we're going against the Meow server. And in this case, it's only going to have one service, but it's going to be Telnet. But I just want to still run through the exact same commands so that we can see what it looks like in different scenarios. So I already know what the IP address is, so I'm not going to do information gathering. I'm just going to go straight to the reconnaissance tool, specifically Nmap. So the first one we're going to do is the dash lowercase s, lowercase n, which, as you remember, is a ping scan, or at least the Nmap interpretation of ping. So let's go ahead and run that and see what we get back. So we can see that the host is up, and so we now know that it's an active live system. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next command. All right, so the next Nmap command, again, is the version, so dash lowercase s, capital V. In this case, I actually included the dash O, simply to kind of speed this up. Now, I can run multiple flags within the same command, and it'll just combine all this information. So we're going to look for version information, and we're going to look for operating system at the same time. So let's go ahead and target the system and see what we get. So we got our scan back, and we can see that the Telnet service is Linux Telnet D. Now, we don't have any version information. Apparently, the system wasn't able to extract it. That could just be based on the build and any sort of banner information that the system administrators set up. So you can see here that there is limited information. So Nmap isn't an end-all be-all tool, and in fact, it really doesn't even know what the operating system is. Now, it made a good guess here that it's a 64-bit system and that it's Linux. But that's really the only information that we've got. So we're going to have to do some additional scanning to make sure that we understand what we're looking at. But for now, since we're just doing active reconnaissance, this is sufficient for us to understand what kind of services are running on this system and then what kind of operating system it might be. And that is enough at least to get an initial foothold, or at least start to perform penetration testing against. So you can see here that I didn't include an Nmap with no flags against the target, simply because that's redundant. Eventually you're going to just have a single command that you use all the time in order to extract this information. So I just kind of jumped ahead and gave you an insight into what things are going to look like down the road. But Nmap-SV-O and your IP address is more than sufficient to get all the information you need from a system in order to be able to identify if there's any attack vectors on that target. All right, that's it for the active reconnaissance tools. If you have any questions, make sure you hit the forums. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next lesson.